What's going on, everybody? We are back again for another episode of hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. And I am your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News, reporting to you live from the newsroom. How's everybody doing today? We got some things we're gonna touch. We're gonna touch on. Um, I'm not gonna hold you too long today. At least I don't plan on it. Deb, good morning. You made it in on time, Bessie. I see you. Lola Ford, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for coming in and joining us. Tony, Irene, Clinton Phillips, 5. I see you. I see you all. Good morning. Shan Paul, 880. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Deb, you first. You first in the building. I appreciate that. That's dedication. That's hard work right there, huh? Jenny, what's up, bestie? Good morning. What's good? What's going on with everybody? Got him. Got him is in. Tina, I see you, Tina. Let's get about 3 or 4 more in here, then we'll get started. Get some more people to come in. Okay, use it. Well, he went out. Lee, I see you, Lee. Indara, I think that's how you pronounce it. Welcome. Fred Raymond, Lammy, Alami, Marcus McKay. Okay, all right, all right. Check this out. So, what we want to start with today is I was talking to one of my besties last night. We was messaging back and forth, and she wanted us to talk about the situation or the incident that happened um, over the weekend with T. Howard. T. Howard. I mean, the first movie I saw him on was a '90s classic movie. It was a classic to me. It might not be a classic to everybody else. It's a classic to me. But Sunset Park. I seen him on that movie first. But he's most known for, well, I won't say most known, but I guess I would say his breakout role or breakout movie was and it just slipped my mind. Hustle and Flow. That was the name of it. Uh, he's also done some work on TV shows, and countless of other movies that he's done. And I mean, he's a great actor. I me personally, I think he's a great actor. Um, I don't have really anything bad to say about him, to be honest. But this weekend, he pretty much had the internet ablaze because he had mentioned some things that happened with a guy who's on trial now that we like to call Puffy Jacket. Oh man, but Terrance Howard gave us some insights on some things that happened uh, during his time with being around Puffy Jacket and doing some work with Puffy Jacket. Right? Jenny says, why did he wait this long to tell the truth? Again, I see what you're saying. I have to, again, this is just my opinion, okay? This is just my opinion. I think a lot of these people are now coming out and stating things that happened to them or things that occurred when they was uh in the presence of other people because they feel some sort of sense of security now. Like they can come out and say it and they don't have to worry about any backlash. Maybe they know more than what we know because some people are coming out and feeling comfortable and safe talking and telling their story. And that could be because they may know that a certain person, we're not going to say no names, but maybe, a certain person isn't going to be getting out, right? Jenny says there's strength in numbers. I get it. Yeah, and that's true too. That's true too. Oh, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. We didn't do our what you call it. We got to do our disclaimer before we get started. All things said in the show are alleged. No suspects or no person that has been accused of committing crimes have been found guilty or liable for said charges. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. We want to make sure we get that out because we want to protect our lives, right? Okay, so that's what I think, Bessie. I think that's why people are starting to talk more. And keep in mind, we did say a while back that the closer we get to the trial, the more things are going to start coming out, right? And so we're going to let Tesa Tales give her content on what happened, right? Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Bestie. That's right. All right, I have the best moderator team on here. If you are below the age of 18, we ask that you exit the live now. She gives her content on what was said by T. Howard when it as it pertains to his time around Puffy Jacket. Now, the one thing that I did see or hear when I was listening to it, I should say, not necessarily in the same way. Marie, good morning. Good morning, Bestie. Thank you for coming in. And we're doing that for you. We're talking about it. I was just talking about you. He didn't like directly come out and say like the same arrangement or the same setup as some of the other victims have. However, if you listen to it, you'll see that he does kind of hint to Puffy Jacket using the same approach to where he like promises people fame or fortune, or in this case, he said he wanted to hear T. Howard's music and stuff like that. You know, just using ways to lure people in. But you know, I'm gonna let you all hear. We're gonna play the audio, and again, the source cred for today is Tesa Tales. We're gonna talk about two things today. But both things she is the source cred of for today. Okay, Tesa Tales on YouTube. Let's go.
Terrance Howard just low-key confirmed every victim's story about what happened with Diddy. And all I want to know is, baby, are you the prosecution star witness? I'm joking. But honestly, real talk. Terrance Howard just told a story that is really funny, but also low-key disturbing about what Diddy did to try to get in his pants. Baby, Diddy, don't you know, Terrance likes an intellectual. He wants to talk stream theory. He wants to talk bubble theory. Diddy was probably high on that Tucci and didn't know what to do. But the thing of the matter is, I'm going to let you hear Terrance's story. It sounds exactly like what every victim says. And it sounds like what the prosecution also told us about Diddy. And low-key, Terrance Howard just confirmed everything. Anyway, listen, you guys, let's get into this because you got to hear this. It's a funny story, but then we got to talk about
Funny,
how it ties into some serious stuff. For everybody saying, oh my God, what's going on? Why didn't they leave? Terrance Howard felt uncomfortable. And baby, when Diddy was doing this stuff, Terrance was at the top of his game. Remember Hustle and Flow? It's kind of hard out there for a pimp.
That's
How did a movie about whoop that trick? Whoop that trick.
Y'all remember that movie?
Awards. But anyway, let's get into this. Where's the Terrance Howard video? I'm going to let y'all hear it out of his own mouth because you know Terrance is a skilled storyteller. So,
hold on, I want to pause right there because I want to say, remember Sharita yesterday, our bestie Sharita was saying, like, why did these people even go? Or they, and we were saying that some people knew what was going on and still left, right? Well, I'm just going to let T. Howard tell you. But he did the right thing, I think.
I'm not going to post the video because, you know, copyright and stuff, but let me set the mood, okay? Close your eyes and imagine. You're in a world where Terrance Howard is wearing a fedora, a hoodie. The hoodie is up under the fedora. He has on a Mr. Rogers cardigan gray sweater. He has on a said gray hoodie, and I believe he has a wife beater on underneath that. Anyway, but he's dead serious. Let's get into this. Volume
Welcome
up.
to the live, Sandra Gillespie,
This week, we're hosting a free
Alice
trading and
Culverhouse,
investing workshop right here in
John
Atlanta.
Smith,
Inside this
Geneva
workshop,
Banks.
you'll learn
Welcome,
you
welcome.
don't need to be a Wall Street pro to trade like one. Instead of getting a finance degree, what if you could figure out...
Okay.
Have the opportunity.
Okay.
And he said no to it.
Hell yeah.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and he said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the
Hell
consequences
yeah.
when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to,
I know the
wanted me to
Mr.
be his
Rogers
acting
sweater,
coach
right?
for a while.
I know, man.
Go there.
Yo, Puffy is a perv. I don't care what y'all say. He literally used old school. Can I get a
Welcome in,
hug?
Goldie.
He used old school pervy. Yo, can I get a hug? How you been? Literally, you decided to be like, I know how I'll get him. Yo,
Keep
could you
tapping
be
and
my
clapping,
acting coach?
gift and
Let's get into
uplift.
this.
And he's sitting around just looking.
Hey, sis, how's it going?
I'm like,
Welcome
okay,
to the
what's
live.
material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I'm playing the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. I
We
was
love
like,
TikTok Shop.
okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that
We love
shit.
TikTok Shop.
Because the man card means everything.
Do we agree or do we disagree? I agree. I agree with what he said. Jenny says at least someone in his camp gave Howard that warning since no one else has. Facts, bestie. I honestly think that, hey, his camp looked out for his best interest. They didn't go along with it. They didn't think about self gaining anything on it for themselves. And hey, look, yeah, we got invited to the party, but I don't think we should go. I don't think we should go. And then somebody in the camp goes into whispering winds. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the live. Good morning. How are you doing? I hope all is well your way, bestie. And then you have somebody in his camp saying, hey, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I think he's trying to with you. Just direct. Just direct. We ain't gonna beat around the bush. We're gonna come straight out with it. I think this is what he's trying to do. And so it pays to have people in your camp that really care about your well-being, as this shows, as this proves, right? I mean, hey, what Cat say?
Sometimes you just got to tell Puffy Jacket no.
Let's give it up for T. Howard for telling him no. Save thy hoe.
Let's swallow the meat and spit the fat out, because I get it
I don't
when
think she
he's
should have
saying
said
like
that right there.
a real man, but then that is a bit of toxic masculinity. At the end of the day, Terrance Howard, one, you had made your money. You got hustle and flow. You were in the position where you could threaten Diddy because Diddy couldn't do anything to you, right? Either physically, verbally, even though he has lost a lot in his career. And I feel like he wasn't maybe talking about all men. He was probably taking shots at the few actors that he feels like took the easy way out, if you want to call it easy. But y'all, if we actually look at that, first he invited him over for
Yeah,
acting.
Bestie, way
Terrance
bad
didn't take
choice
the
of
hint.
words right there.
Diddy was probably high off of Tucci, couldn't remember his lines. It was like, okay, it's too much. You know what? Invite him to do the music, because he probably was like, with the acting, there's nothing I can offer Terrance Howard with the acting, because this is what getting back into the government, proving the government's point. This is what Diddy was. He was like a jinn. He granted your wishes, but you had to give up your soul. The only thing is, it was a slippery slope. So I think he thought he'd invite Terrance Howard in, and Terrance Howard was like, all right, let's do this. I want to know how much Terrance Howard charged him for acting classes. So he's like, all right, like, I'll take the bag. Cool, this and that. Let me do this.
Look, it's that's telling. Again, I have to. She's saying some words that one I wouldn't say. I don't think it should be said at this moment. But given the context, it's not good. But hearing a lot. So he was saying he wanted to have acting lessons. He wanted to do movies more. That's what Puffy Jacket's line or excuse was to get, in the presence of T. Howard.
Diddy realize, yo, I can't offer him anything in the acting world. This little money I'm paying him clearly isn't enough for him to bust it open for a player, right? And Terrance Howard was probably with his little guitar talking about string theory, was like, nah, Diddy, because it's not, nah, Diddy, you gotta feel it in your blood. Say it again. Where's my water at? No, Diddy. Where's my water at?
Wow.
No, man, you gotta take the toothpick out. You gotta say it with your blood. You gotta say it with your chest. Terrance Howard, he seems like the type of person that will take any scenario seriously, no matter what. He probably went in there saying, I am going to teach this man how to recite Shakespeare. Scenes and lines.
Then he says it seems
Meanwhile,
very
Diddy's
high
probably
school
like,
approach to a girl.
"Gee, you look
Exactly. I was
so
thinking
good
the same
with that
thing.
shirt
Like, but
Ooh,
hold on,
can I get you some water?
Because listen, remember in that documentary, Bessie, and they were saying, his childhood friend was saying, like, when they were growing up in Mount Vernon, that Puffy Jacket really wasn't good with the girls. He really didn't have no. He ain't have no game. He ain't had no charisma. And so that leads me to just, he was probably like, I don't want to say a nerd, but he was corny. He was corny. And so it's kind of like, his pickup line to T. Howard is corny. I mean, not, it shouldn't have been done, period. But what I'm saying is, you get me? It was lame. Like, Marie says, so at the end of the day, it's not about talent, but performance. That's a true statement, Bessie. But however, the money comes depending on what performances you are willing to perform. You got me? You get where I'm going with that?
And the funny thing is, listen, we're going to get back to this, but why would I heard this story? I had a vision of Diddy trying to do what he can to make Terrance Howard weak in the knee. Terrance Howard came walking in
Shirley
6'4", with his guitar. I'm like, you ready to work? Diddy was like, yeah, daddy. And Terrance was like, hey, what'd you say, man? He was like, no. I said, no, I am Diddy. And
I'm out, y'all. Man. If you're not following Tesa Tales on YouTube, I encourage you to go do so, man. Not only Lisa Lee, thank you for that heart meet. I appreciate that. Welcome to the live too. Thank you for that, love. Not only does she give you the tea, but she is funny with it. Like it's really funny, and her energy in giving it is just like on point all the time. Whispering Wind says, "I love her. Been following Tesa for a long time." Yeah, I have too, man. And I love how she delivers it. Don't get me wrong. Everything that's going on right now is highly important. It's serious. It's a serious thing. Nobody's denying that at all. It's a serious thing. However, some things in order when things are in a chaotic moment or in a chaotic phase, sometimes you just gotta laugh and make jokes in order to get through it, right? So Whisper Wind says, yes, I agree. She tells it straight. Don't she? She tells it straight, and if it hurts your feelings, there's no, you know what, giving at all.
I'm ready to work. The whole time, Terrance and Charlie teaching him how to like get method acting, recite Shakespeare, do all this stuff. Meanwhile, Diddy is like, "What, just grape soda?" And Terrance Howard's like, "Nah, man, you know I don't eat." I feel like Terrance Howard's like, "Nah, man, you know I don't drink fruit toast corn syrup. Nah, man, it's a CIA initiative with the growth just grape soda." Yeah, you right. Fresh squeezed orange juice. Nah, man, you know I try to stay away from the sugar. Fresh water. Nah, man, I'm not thirsty, so we gonna say these lines or not? Diddy was probably sitting there for the whole time trying to get Terrance Howard to drink something so he could do the Diddy special in there. But Terrance Howard,
Hey, the Diddy special. Now, have we not heard in several cases, or lawsuits, I should say, in several lawsuits, that they will offer something to drink? And after drinking whatever they were provided with, they start feeling lucid or incoherent. Even the younger, alleged younger victims, they were given pop to drink, or they was given some type of juice to drink, as far as like you know, because they were underage, allegedly, right? But no matter what, in a lot of cases, they was offered something to drink, and shortly after drinking whatever was provided to them or offered to them, things happen how things happen.
was one step away from him, one step away. So after Terrance Howard left sober, right? Because according to the feds, Diddy don't like people leaving sober, baby. You getting a Diddy special whether you want it or not. After Terrance Howard left sober,
Mark
with
Tucker,
his
welcome in.
certain virginity intact,
Shirley Peck,
Diddy's probably like,
915. Thank you for joining.
KK, how you think we can get him into bed? And KK was probably like, what? I'm not involved in that. What are you talking about? But maybe you should invite him for music because he's successful in acting. But Terrance Howard wants to be a musician. So if Terrance Howard wants to actually be a musician, invite him over. He invited him over the second time. That's when Diddy was like, oh, I got this.
See what we were saying, people. Remember, folks, we were saying he would prey on people's talent, like there was, like, allegedly. Again, all things are alleged, but people who wanted to get into the modeling business, he allegedly used his clothing company, a clothing line, for them to model for him, just so he could get them to do what he wanted to do. And just like T. Howard's case, there were several who had dreams of being, they aspired to being in the music business, and be it singer, be it a hip hop artist or whatnot. And he played on their dreams and ambitions to get them in position to do what he wanted to do, allegedly.
The king of this castle. We about to make it pop. Busted wide open for a player. Literally, he literally had on dun 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 dun. What was out back then? Dun 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 dun. Get low, get low, get low, get low. He was like, you like the song Daddy from the windows. You like the song Daddy to the wall.
Oh yeah, yin yang twins.
Your turn to literally. Anyway, my whole point of the matter is, besides going off track, is I really honestly think that Diddy finally thought, yo, I'm going to do music because I can't do anything with acting. And he found out that Terrance Howard did not have a price. But also, let's be real, Diddy is accused of rugging people. So congratulations to Terrance Howard leaving with his manhood. I do wish Terrance Howard would write a tell-all, though, because, baby, he just confirmed the prosecution's case in a throwaway on a podcast. Y'all, listen, let me know what you think in the comments, and somebody tell Terrance Howard he needs to start a podcast, because I know that man got stories to tell.
I agree with her on that. I agree with her on that. So there was another one oh, I don't know if I got it now. Let me see. There was one where uh, Terrance Howard actually went into kind of a detailed more so what happened. Um, I think this may be it. No, no, that's not it. That's not it. Hold on. I'm trying to find it for you all. This is it, but it's the whole interview he did, and I can't just go to PBD podcast on YouTube, and you'll see T Howard on there, and you guys can all watch it for yourself on your leisure time, and hear him go more into detail what happened. Jenny says, but why didn't Howard T Howard help Bashir whenever he was going down? I don't know. Um, I don't know. Like it's hard to say why people didn't do or did do. A lot of times, like I say, we feel like they were. Ooh, I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it for y'all. Yeah, I got it for y'all. We're gonna play this in a minute, okay? It's gonna be impromptu. We're gonna get to the second story for the day too. But Bessie, I think that it's just certain times and certain people feel like, hey, if I help or if I say something about this, then I'm gonna miss out on. It's gonna affect me getting these roles on these movies or these TV shows, or I'm gonna get blackballed if I say anything. It's so sad. If he knew this is Jenny, it's so sad. If he knew PD wanted Bashir, then he should have warned him, just like somebody warned him. Right? I agree with you fully. You got to pay it forward, so to speak. Um, and I think that probably would have saved not only Bashir, but it would have saved a lot of people if people were honest about what they knew up front. But again, and I don't want to put this on T Howard or anything like that. We just discussing our opinions, right? You know, Jenny said, especially in that business. Exactly, exactly. And I'm not putting this on him, but I'm just saying he may have thought, hey, I won't get these opportunities if I speak, because one thing we have definitely uncovered while we're chronicling all of this is that in that society, in that realm, or in that group, in that select group, it seems like silence is golden. It's like the more you don't say anything about the heinous stuff you see, the more that proves your loyalty, which is backwards. But I'm just saying that seems to be what we've uncovered so far. It's like people know and have seen things, but they chose to be quiet and look the other way. She said, I don't know how it was a household name during that time, number one show on TV, and and that's what I'm saying. He may have wanted to stay in that position. Like I said, even if you watch him in Sunset Park, you could already tell he was good. And this is long before he even got the movie with Ludacris and what was that? Was that called Crash? Don't quote me on that, everybody, but I think that movie was called Crash. Um, the TV show that he was on, all of this, like, there's again, there's things you got to do to get a role, but there's also things you got to do to maintain that role. Not saying, not saying that he did, not saying that he did, um, but I'm just giving. I guess I'm trying to make sense of it all, Bestie, because what you said is an outstanding question. Why didn't you tell? You could have saved so many alleged other victims, and you all, we don't have to keep talking about when we say alleged, what we mean. Jenny says, "Oh yeah, he's a great actor, but some of his beliefs are a little wild." and I would agree with you on that. He's been out the way on some things. No hate. I'm just saying. Yeah, no hate against him at all. No hate against him at all. But truth is truth, right? Truth is truth, and some things. I mean, he's had controversy before, so yeah, yeah. I'm not saying you hating on him at all. Best, you just call it like it is.
Everyone knows you need a lawyer.
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna play this. We gon' This is impromptu, and this is from Value Entertainment. Valuetainment. Sorry, Valuetainment. But it's the part of that.
And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. And
Hold on, y'all.
you know, there's a short life.
Had started over.
Why do you think that is? What the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit
We
to
love TikTok
try and
Shop.
deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. You know, who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what Heath had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man.
Hey, Bestie, Marie, you still rocking with me? You still in here? Put a 1 in the live if you still in here, Marie, or just say yeah. Just comment yes. I see you, but I'm trying. I want to see if she's in here because I want to point out something. Jenny says, I guess that's his reasoning why he didn't help. What? Yeah, I guess, right? But we wasn't off the mark on that. You know, he pretty much covered what we were saying. Okay, I guess Maria's gone, but I was going to point out to her because a few shows ago we had talked about bending over and grabbing your ankles. That's what he was talking about right then, as far as the man card. You know, and then I want to point out something else. You hear how he's talking about once certain people do that or go that route, they end up on D-Rugs. Is that not how we see JB, OB, and a host of others that were young? And I can't necessarily say just young. I mean, it's a lot of people who's done that, right? We can see it. We can see it in their soul. In fact, I was talking to my homeboy. Oh, shout out to Houdini, by the way. I was talking to him on the set when we was filming the show on Sunday, and we was talking about that. I was telling him about when we did the show on Crisscross, when we was talking about Chris Smith, God rest his soul, how when they first came into the industry, them, JB, and a host of others, they come into business in the industry, they're excited, they're eager, you can see it, and then all of a sudden you see a transition in their soul, and it gets dark because of what they had to, because of what they were traumatized by, you know. Jenny says, "Hey, you took the words out of my mouth." About what? Yeah, Jenny, you right. Bow Wow, Sea Breezy, yeah. You know, what's the Grande girl? You know, it's, oh yeah, Ariana Grande. How could I forget that, right? But these people, these kids, man, and it's just wild. It's wild seeing it. But Terrance just touched on that. Mac Miller, exactly. You got it. See, and I'm glad you bringing that up, basically, because now this is what we're showing. We are trying to show people the pattern of behavior. Like, you can see this happening. So when people say, well, that's crazy. No, that didn't happen. That's not going on. Listen, just stop and think about what you've seen. And you can put it all together. You can put it all together.
Man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time.
Hashtag he gonna say it.
You give up that right for anything,
Best
for
is we need to
fear
send
of
him a
being
shirt.
hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly
Juice
right
WRLD.
of being a mother and taking care of her family
Excitation,
and being do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Hashtag he gonna say it. Miss Beautiful, welcome to the live. How are you? How are you? You all, thank you so much for joining us today on today's show. We appreciate you being here. If you will, please keep tapping and clapping. Please gift and uplift. And if you would be so kind to share if you care, we'd appreciate that. And your presence is greatly appreciated.
So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head.
I'm beautiful.
The things
Thanks
that
for
they
asking,
did,
Art.
no matter how they did
That's
it, whether
awesome.
they were
That's all.
drunk
I'm
or
doing
high
great.
or whatever.
I'm doing great. I'm blessed.
Gave
Thank
up
you
your
for
man
asking.
card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every
TikTok
way to
shop
try
is
and
great.
get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Hey, did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the
Hell
consequences
yeah.
when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around.
That's
just
exactly
looking.
what Sloan says.
I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking
About
at me.
inserting
Then next
spores
thing you know, okay,
at those
hey,
parties. Exactly.
will you help me? I want to hear your music.
Yeah,
I come over
Marie,
there
it's
and
deep,
play the
isn't it?
music, and he's sitting there. He's looking at me.
Listen,
like waiting.
he's saying everything that we
Okay.
talked about, right?
So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was
He's
like, for what?
validating it.
He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man
Jenny
walks
said it's
into
about
a room.
time someone is
And a
spilling
man
the tea
don't
for real.
take the same
Facts,
things that
bestie.
a guy will accept. So
No
always
more,
be the
hey,
man
we ain't
in
got
the
to
room.
play around no
And
more.
that's
We
always
know.
been my whole thing, and have lost
solidified,
businesses because
validated.
I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay.
There we go, Marie. When we talk about bend over and grabbing them ankles, what do you say? I don't bend over that way. I'm trying to tell you, man, listen, people might not agree with what we do here, but hashtag we gonna say it. We talk about what we know. Shout out to all of y'all, man.
roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
I had no idea we're going to go this direction with the podcast. This is absolute. But listen, we've talked about it. We've had a lot of the guys on to talk about this stuff. Are you done with Hollywood because of this specific reason?
I'm still working. I still, I haven't made the money necessary to do all of the other stuff. So I still have to go and do the Chitlin circuit. I still have to do the job that I need to. But eventually,
Stop. Let's stop right there. Key point. You heard what he just said. Hey, I still got to do the Chitlin circuit. Okay, so for those that may not know what Chitlin circuit means in the entertainment realm of things, Chitlin circuit, the reason why that is said is because back in the day, which seems those times are rapidly coming back, but back in the day, a BLK performer or entertainer could not perform in the same big venues that the YT entertainment or his YT counterpart could perform in. Therefore, meaning they couldn't make the same amount of money that the YT performer or entertainer could make. So they had to perform in smaller venues. The BLK entertainer had to perform in smaller venue, thus meaning he wouldn't be able or she wouldn't be able to make the same amount of money as a counterpart, right? So they called it the Chitlin circuit. So that's what he means by, hey, I'm not making the money that I could have been making. So I still got to do the Chitlin circuits. I still got to do the small venues, the small shows, the what we call the B and C rated shows, because there's not the same amount of money or pumped into the production aspect of the project and stuff like that. So in encompassing all of that, what he's saying is because I will not sell my soul, I'm being ostracized from doing certain roles that I'm capable of doing. I'm more than capable of doing, but because I won't do what they want me to do, the ritualistic stuff, the sinister stuff, the smexual stuff, I'm not offered those positions. So I still got to go and do the smaller things in order to get revenue coming in. Jenny says, like, AS is what first came to mind. Same thing. Yes, same thing. Because she wasn't, God rest her soul too, but because she wasn't willing to go in a direction or be told to do what they wanted her to do. She lost out on several things. But we got to give it up for those people, though. We got to give it up for those people because they're staying true to themselves. They're not selling their souls. But I wanted to point that out because some people may not have known what he meant. They might not have caught the importance of what he just said. As far as we're talking about T. Howard, people. We talking about T. Howard. This ain't no man. He's an A+ actor. But because he won't do those things, he still have to come down and do the smaller things. Kim, welcome to the live, love. Good morning to you. He's got to come and do the smaller projects in order to still maintain and make money. That just goes to show you how powerful these people are, such as Puffy Jacket and stuff like that, because they can dictate what you get and what you don't get. You understand? So that's a lot of the reasons why I wish our bestie Sharita was in him. But that's a lot of the reason why a lot of these people who want to make it feel compromised, feel like they have no choice but to do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't. Everybody has a choice. But I'm just saying, if we're talking about a person who's made it, we're talking about a person, an actor that's the top celebrity. He's rubbed shoulders with the top celebrities. And he's telling you, even I have to go down and do smaller projects because I refuse to bend over and grab my ankles for anybody. I just want to put that out there for everybody.
I've done what I set out to do, which was to redefine the universe. I've proven what I've set out to do, and that's why I have all the patents. Whether they evaluate it or not, that's up to them. But I've done the work and finished it. Now I can go on and do whatever else we need to do. Hi, everyone. My name is Terrance Howard. I'm an actor, but in the field of science also. So if you would like to connect with me, you can connect with me on Connect. The QR code is down below, and let's have a great conversation.
If you enjoy this,
listen, man. Marie says fame is not for everyone. It's not. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And I'm in no shape, form, or fashion been on the level of fame that he has. But I am guilty of the fame that I did accrue in the pro wrestling business led me to do some things that was it just wasn't in good character. It cost me my first marriage. You understand? I've done D-rubs to get up, get down, get overs, get unders, get by. So and then you get to a point where when people find out who you are and what you've done and they've seen you on TV, anything you want is given to you. It's a sort of power that come with that. It's a sort of and I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from my own experience. When you after you've done what you've been on that stage. Of course, my stage was a ring, but after you've been on that stage, people just want to touch your hand. Women just they fly you out to where they live, what state they live in, because they're gonna have an adult girl slumber party, and they want to show their friends that, hey, I know a pro wrestler. And now you out there, listen, we need to do a sub only show for that. But so I give T Howard props for what he's doing. Bestie, I get what you're saying. Why now? Why now? And I don't have the answer to that, but at the same time, I think he may be, if not he is, the first person of that world, that industry, that I've heard say matter of fact what it is and what we talk about and discuss on hashtag I'm gonna say it. He just put meat on the bone for us with that. Jenny says to Marie, it should be taught in acting classes, the pitfalls of fame and how to avoid it. Absolutely, Bessie. And like I said, man, I'm constantly talking, which I need to call him today, but I'm constantly telling my son about it. Constantly telling my son about it. As a matter of fact, I need to call him because I think he might be out there in LA filming the second movie now. And I need to check up on him and his mother. But Jenny says, but think about what Camel Face and B had to do to get that fame. Right. And see, a lot of times when people have been abused in that way, they turn and become an abuser because they felt what happened to them, they had no defense. They didn't have a fight in them to prevent that from happening. So they put that pain that they're experiencing, they put it on other people by victimizing other people the same way. So, yeah. So Marie, I hope you enjoyed that segment. As far as the T Howard thing, I hope I did that justice for you. And man, I just appreciate it. DJ Zay, good morning. What's going on, my brother? Peace and blessings to you. Marie says, yes, I sure did, Bessie. Hey, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you. And I'm glad you sent that to me and said, yeah, let's talk about it. Jenny says, speaking of victims, someone needs to help JB. Yeah, he's in desperate need of help, prayer, and everything, man. Like, I forgot who sent it to me, but somebody sent. I think it was you, Deb. It might have been Deb. I'm not sure. I talk to my besties all the time. I'm not sure which one it was. And like I say, I appreciate all of you. But somebody sent me a video of him, and he was like singing, but he's gone, man. He's like I said, you can tell he's either derugged up real bad or intoxicated real bad or both. Or both. However, Jenny said he's crashed out for real. Yeah, he has. Sadly, he has. Sadly, he has. But again, there was remember God, what platform she was on, but it was a lady who she was a stage mom to another singer, and I don't know her name, but she was a stage mom. It might have been Sloan Bella. Now that I think about it, Bestie, it might have been her. But she said that he didn't want to be with JB did not want to be married to Haley Baldwin. But and even though he was married to her at this time, he was still messing with this other singer. And she was younger than him. She's younger than JB, but he loved and cared about. And in fact, she ended up getting pregnant by him, but ended up I guess she lost the baby or something like that. I'm not sure. And no, it's not Ariana Grande. What is the other one? It's not Selena Gomez. That's not the girl. That's not. I know his first big celebrity relationship was with Selena Gomez, but this girl I'm talking about is not her. But he crashed out over this girl. And now he's crashing out again. But listen, I don't know. And hey, what y'all think, before we go into the next segment, what do y'all think about the car accident that Lil Boosie was in yesterday here in Atlanta? Some people are trying to say they was trying to Angie Stone him. I don't know if that's true or not, because I've heard that he ran a red light too and caused the crash. So I don't know. But have y'all heard about it? I'm gonna do some more research on that. They not even playing it here on the news. I've watched the news. I didn't see it, but I follow a lot of the Atlanta pages on IG. So yeah, yesterday in South Fulton, in Atlanta, Lil Boosie was driving with some friends of his and was in a real bad car accident. I'm talking about there's people laying in the street, laying in the middle of the street, and there's car debris everywhere. I mean, but they're saying that somebody, you heard about it, DJ Zay? You know what I'm talking about? Jenny says, wasn't he just speaking out recently? He's been speaking out. Yeah, he's adamant about speaking out. And they were saying that's and then he went and built another thing he done. He built his mansion on this land, and then he cleared all some more land by his house, and he's building all these little small homes. So it's like what is that called? Like income housing, like low income housing for people to have a place to live, so they won't be homeless. You know, and so they was trying to say that wreck yesterday. They was trying to allegedly they was trying to Angie Stone him. You know, Jenny says, "Yeah, I agree. It could have been an AS thing." I'm wondering. I'm going to pay closer attention. I'm gonna try to keep my eye out on it or whatnot. But that's just crazy because one is South Fulton, and she lived in DeKalb and stuff like that. But it's still in the same metro. We're all in the same metropolitan area. So, and I just find that strange that the celebrity that he is, no mentioning of it on the news, which leads me to think that it was an AS thing. Jenny says, hopefully everyone involved is okay. I hope so. Carl, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining. I hope so. Like I said, if I can get the video, I'll no. I'm gonna say I'll post it on my page, but I'm not gonna do it because there's people laying in the street, and I don't want TikTok to say I'm violating anything. So, but yeah, if you go on IG, you can definitely see the video. I think it's ATL Uncensored. All right, so we're gonna go into this next top man, and I'm sorry I don't went over the time. We're gonna go over an hour, y'all, but it's not gonna be long. This won't be long, so I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. But listen, we know recently Ye has been trying to take up for, not even trying, been taking up for Puffy Jacket. Dev says it might be on the TV show E.T. tonight. Well, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I'll see if they say something about it. I'll see if they say something about it on there. I just thought the local news would have it. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I was on the way to Jacksonville, Florida to a wrestling show at Champ 7 Pro Wrestling. And we stopped at the Home Depot down here in Stockbridge. And Lil Boosie was coming out the store with his entourage. And these girls was going crazy. I'm talking about they were going crazy. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that, Bessie. Let me know if you see it. And my daughter was driving. I wish she was in here. She would tell you. She was driving. She's like, oh, there go Boosie right there. There go Boosie. I'm an old man. I ain't know who Boosie was. But then I remembered the song. She was saying the song. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that. I know him. Cool dude. Short little fella. Frail and short. But cool, man. Cool. He's really good at what he's doing. I champion what he's doing, to be honest with you. But sorry, I got off on that. But so we saying Ye was trying to take up, or is taking up for Puffy Jacket, and you see we seen he's threatened Kim K, the mother of his kids, about certain things, exposing certain things that apparently would doom her, and of course she don't want that to come out. Well, Kim K has went to Ye's wife Bianca and basically trying to get her to join forces with her and go to court and testify against Ye. So Jenny says, you seen his wife left due to his erratic Twitter. No, I'm gonna be honest with you, Bestie. I hadn't even followed the story. I just, after that part where he was saying he was basically gonna threaten. He threatened Kim K, talking about he would let them know about her child trafficking, and even if it incriminated himself, he would do it. That was like as far as I got with that. But Tesa tells, like I said, she's the source Cred for the day. She's covering where she leaked the information, or broke the information, where Kim K is trying to buddy up with Bianca and get her to join her and go to court against him, right? Jenny says, man, they better not try to guardianship him. Hey, it's getting bad. Yeah, it's getting, listen, on all fronts, there is a storm coming through the entertainment industry right now like no other. A lot of things are coming out. We say alleged because that's what we have to do. We wasn't there. But at the end of the day, it's playing out before our eyes in real time. And we really don't need to use that word because we see it. But, yeah, you're right. It's getting really, really bad. Everybody's turning on everybody.
Y'all, what is Kim Kardashian doing? Y'all, you know that she is literally putting out an olive branch because she wants Bianca to know that if they work together, they can get Kanye committed, and there might be a little something extra for Bianca in the bank. Y'all, let's get into this.
Right, Marie. Not a storm, but a hurricane. Yes,
she
Lord.
Is petty.
It really is.
She is rubbing it in Bianca's face that Kanye did not want to have a baby with her. Because at the end of the day, Kim takes a lot of pride in being Kanye's only baby mother. However, at the end of the day, Kim actually reached
Neil
out
Clark,
to
642, welcome
Bianca. And they said Bianca ignored Kim. Let me tell you something. You know why Bianca ignored Kim? Because Bianca wants a baby with Kanye. This is one of the reasons why she left him.
Tap it, clap,
because
share,
Kanye,
care, gift, and
Bianca was
uplift.
like, I think a baby will calm you down. You know, you're a different person when you have a baby, you know, and what about us? I want our love to be codified. And I said, Bianca, know what you're there for. Know what you are there for. Now, I'm not saying Bianca doesn't deserve
Jenny
a baby.
says,
She
hey,
didn't
that's
have
so
the right
childish,
baby.
Kim.
Kanye
Yeah.
finally found somebody who matches free.
Yeah,
but at the end
she
of the day,
crazy.
Kanye likes that
She
you are a
regular.
walking blow-up doll. On top of that, he is having so
But you know,
with
too,
confidence.
You know, too, Bestie, they are definitely trying to just make sure we stay focused on the which was crazy too. The outfit he wore for that academic interview.
Issues with Kim with the co-parenting. Basically, it's supposed to be co-parenting, but he's mad Kim won't just let him do what he wants when he wants. Why would you think he wanted to add another kid and another bill onto that mix? But Bianca's like, if I don't have a baby, how else am I going to secure the bag? But baby, let's get into the way Kim showed up and said,
that's that witchetry.
I'm sorry.
I know how you word, can. We just made a new word. Hashtag I'm going to say it.
You know how you can secure a bag? I don't know. What's Kim's voice? I know how you can secure a bag. How is that? By turning on Kanye. People are saying that Bianca might be considering this, but right now she thinks that if she kind of throws this temper tantrum, Kanye will give in and they will actually have a baby. Who knows on that? But let's talk about how Kim reached out to Bianca.
First of all, before we get into how Kim reached out to Bianca, ladies, and we don't judge, but this is a question. This is not a judgment, it's a question. After seeing everything we see, everything we've seen, who would want to have a child by him? Jenny said, nah, he's too focused on his album and Puffy Jacket. She ain't gonna get that, baby. Huh? Ain't gonna forget about it. Yeah, why would, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. Like, and I don't have room to talk. I mean, out of my 4 kids, mother, the first one, I don't know how we even got along to make a child. We made a beautiful child, but I don't know how we got along to do that.
And Bianca left her on red. They said Bianca ignored Kim's attempts to talk following Kanye West split. Again, the attempts to talk was, why don't you come and testify in my child custody? Why don't you do this and that? You know we can get them committed. Anyway, right? They said Kim Kardashian reached out to Bianca Censeri as soon as she heard that Bianca had split from Kanye West. However, Bianca ignored Kim's attempt to connect. They said Bianca ignored Kim, but it's still important to let her know she's there if and when she ever needs someone to talk to. They said after she reached out to Bianca, she wanted to show her support and let Bianca know she's there to talk if she needs. Even though Kim knows their situations are different. Kim has 4 children with Kanye. Kim feels like she's the only person on this planet who truly knows what Bianca has been through. Okay, first of all, the fact that Kim wants Bianca's help, hopes to get Bianca's help, but she's still shading Bianca, maybe you love to see it. Anyway, even though...
But this is messy. Jenny says she said they could get him committed. Well, yeah, okay. I'm glad you said that. Was she behind the first time he had to go to, what was it, Wyoming or something, where he was, remember that he said the doctor kept him derugged up? Was Kim K behind that? Jenny said, what the hell? It's giving me sleeping with the enemy vibe. Yeah, listen, we all are aware of the family that Kim come from. We all are aware of what they are allegedly involved in. So I'm going to say this. I think this right here. Bianca might take the bait. And I'm going to tell you why. Because she knows the reach, she knows the influence that Kim K has in that industry, in that world. Now, I'd be regressive if I didn't say if she's going to take that deal, she better take it quicker than now. Because after May 12th, I really don't know who's going to be standing. It's hard to say. And Kim K may not be in a position after May 12th to help anybody. She may have to focus on helping herself. Jenny says, and they're similar to PD inserting spores into their partner. Very much so. Very much so. Gay J hadn't been the same since the Smex tape. But her stiff. That was the deadest. Never mind. Let me go off. I'm gonna go off on a tangent.
Kim knows her situations are different. What's the situation? Actually, I would say Bianca's in a better situation because as much as we talk about it, for that time then, Kanye had Kim doing some wild things, and Kim was willing to do it. Let's not forget in not 19, but 2000, whatever, Kim was walking around in a sheer bra before Skims existed on the streets of New York. And baby, back then, people weren't even wearing sheer anything. Kim would like pose in the side of a ditch naked. I'm not even joking. Kim was just laid up on the beach with her booty out, laid up under a cover with a Cybertruck. She keeps going for this weird technocratic smex blow up down toy. Is that the way Kim thinks she's going to seduce Elon Musk? She wants to be Elon Musk's concubine so bad.
Just so we clear, there's a picture that has been leaked of the great muskrat beside Puffy Jacket at a event.
Bad. She already knows that thanks to those children and thanks to being used sloppy seconds after Kanye West, right? She already knows that Elon Musk and what he's standing for now, remember the from my heart to yours, he ain't going for being stepdaddy to 4 kids. But she does hope that she can, I think she hopes that she can be Elon Musk's concubine so bad. Because that's why everything you see her on, she is promoting Cybertruck.
Jenny says that Santa Baby
she's
video
promoting
she
those
did
robots.
was
And
telling.
she's doing a weird
I haven't
spin
seen it. You got to
as
send me the
Smex
link
robot.
to it.
I guess it's if you are not good enough to breed with them, and that's not a drag, but if you are not good enough to breed with them, that's I think the way Elon thinks, then at least she can be the concubine. But is that working? Because he seems to like artsy women that are smarter than him. And I'm not saying Kim's stupid, but
You can. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be mad if you do. Yeah, I didn't know anything about a Santa Baby video. I watched it on The Truth Is on what? Okay. So that's why I got to go check it out at. I'll do it.
let's move on, shall we? Anyway, the whole point back to the Bianca thing is like, Kim, get off your high horse. I know you think the money, the power, the fame, right? What make us forget about who you are. Kim, you can't make that jump in this generation. I don't care how much media Christian or controls. We all remember who you are, where you started, what you're about, and you keep reminding us all the time. And you use it to sell anytime you want. So you're trying to distance yourself from Bianca, where for 2010, you were the Bianca Sensori, and you were doing crazy things. Kanye had you walking down the street, being photographed with an Hermes purse with an orgy scene painted on it by some big Japanese artist, and then told everyone the reason I did that is because that's the moment I realized Kim was the most beautiful woman. That's the part.
Hey, isn't this giving like we in the hood and this is a bitter battle between two baby mamas? Well, Bianca, you ain't got his baby, but no shade. But I'm saying, don't it seem like that? It's just two bitter baby mamas going at each other, man. Like, this is crazy. It's crazy.
The most beautiful time I've seen.
All that money between these people, and this is what they doing. Do you not know if we was on that level? I'm gonna speak for me. If I, Jenny says for two old high school rivals, right? It's given. Seriously, like if the money between these people, if I had it, I'd be hitting y'all up. So, hey man, let's go to Trinidad, Barbados, the islands. Let's go have breakfast in the island. This right here. Come on, man. And believe me, I speak from experience. Because my first baby mama and my second baby's mama, because I got 5 by the second one, but they got into it, and it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. Like my second baby mama, my first. So when I can tell you, baby mama drama, hood fights, and I've seen it. I've lived it. This is what this is giving. But it's the kind of fight where nobody's really hitting each other. You're just swinging the air. You're kind of doggy paddling in the air. Nobody really want to make contact. You really don't want to fight each other. You're just sitting here just get away, get away. That's what I'm getting with this right here. Jenny says, with all the money Kim has, she better play with her kids and count her money. Right? That's all. That's all, bestie. That's all she. I mean, come on. This right here makes no sense. But let's point out, people. Let's point out something that is very, very, very obvious. No matter how much money you have, you could still not be happy. But let me put a bow on that. The reason why they're not happy is because they are not of worshiping the right God. In fact, they're not thankful for their blessings. And that's what causes all of this riffraff. Jenny says it's all words trying to puff out their chest. Exactly. It's fake and plastic anyway, probably. Marie says, and teach the oldest one manners. Yes, the oldest one is bad. Jenny says she's a bitter Brenda. Exactly. I'm getting those vibes. Like, this is wild. This don't even it doesn't make sense. It's funny because they are in a position to not have a care in the world. But they choose to do this.
Seen her when you were getting a train ran on you, go Google the purse. It's right there. So for her to say that her and Bianca don't have that much in common, you guys do. The only thing is, even though you got Kanye West's child support, right? Even though you have all that stuff, if you had just married Kanye and hadn't had kids, you would be free to go do the I'm into white boy rebrand like you're trying to do. And none of these, from my heart to your, none of these people that want to see things pure, you might be able to get in with those. Even though I do think, you might have been able to go. Bianca's actually in a better position. She has put herself on the radar of every curve. Let people know that she would do anything for a dollar. Just like Kim let everybody know, in my opinion, with Kanye West. The only thing is, she is not burdened by the children.
Said to Jenny,
I'm not saying the children are burdened, but she don't got to worry about Kanye West blowing up her spot because she can get a restraining order. Whereas Kim, he really does say, yo, I'm just trying to see my kids. So for Kim to sit there and talk down to Bianca, I mean, I guess I'm not.
Kim wasn't paying him no attention when she had Pete over there breaking her spinal cord. She didn't care. It was all right as long and remember, he bought the house across the street. Oh, she loved rubbing it in his face then. But I think now that he said, "Hey, guess what, Kimmy? You know what, Kimmy?
I'll expose you. I'll tell everything that you done, even if it incriminates me."
Come on, man. Let's do better. Let's do better, people. Let's just do better.
I'm not even defending Bianca, but Kim, Miss Ma'ams, stop it. Anyway, right? They said in his new song titled Bianca, he detailed that Bianca had a panic attack as a result of the vile hate he was spewing.
Hey, what's up, niece? How you doing?
She said, my baby, she ran away, but first she tried to get me committed. Not going to the hospital because I'm not sick. I just do not get it. They said Kim had no idea that Bianca and Kanye had split, and she found out just like the rest of us. When she found out, she reached out right away. First of all, I do believe that Bianca probably tried to get Kanye committed. She does have power of attorney over a number of things, and not just that house, like she would lead you to believe. But also, can we be really, really
Jenny says, and all the while these kids are learning how to handle relationships.
You expect us to believe that Bianca had
doomed from the start, from the beginning,
about the vile things?
They're already doomed.
Stop trying to create Bianca as a victim. Bianca was running around Yeezy headquarters, courting people, talking about, what do you think of Hitler? Are you a fan? What do you do this? She is just as crazy, and she matches Kanye's freak. Now, why do I think that she left and had a panic attack? I don't think it was from the vibe, because she's down with that. I honestly think it's because Kanye lost so much money. Bianca thought that she had won. She got Kanye. She's doing everything to keep him. She keeps him more satisfied than Kim. You know, she thought that.
The money. We spoke about the loss of money on a previous show. I can't remember if it was yesterday or day before yesterday. At this point, we be banging shows out, and I love it. But on one of the shows, I said that I think that moderators, what nickname can we give for Ye? Do they even care if you say his name? Like, I don't even know. But until I get feedback from the moderators on what to call him, I said, I think Ye is doing this with Puffy Jacket because he's trying to get back into good graces. Remember, they took all that money from him. Okay, Mr. West, thank you. Mr. West, they took all that money from him after the whole statement he made on his Twitter account back in the day. And I mean, his business is pummeled. He lost so much money. And she just said that. He lost all his money, and she thinks that's why Bianca is trying to, or misdirection. Yeah, Jenny.
And he had already built his billions back up, so she was going to inherit everything, and he was going to make her a star. Like, she was going to make a star. And then she literally found out what? That he broke. And you ain't get the Kim Kardashian era Kanye West. You got the Yeezus walking around with ashy feet and corns on his feet, talking about he's trying to make the perfect pair of shoes, don't want to bathe, and just being so yucky and whatever. I think that's why she had a panic attack, because you realize that, baby, the grift was over and ain't no more money coming out of that piggy bank anytime soon. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments.
Hey, once again, people, we see a relationship, a arranged marriage, a relationship in the celebrity world tanking. Just a quick recap in case some of you don't know what I'm talking about. When Mr. West was signed to Rockefeller Records, or the label with rocks, I forgot, we got to do it that way, the label containing rocks, when he was signed by them, and Camel Face was matched with a beehive, Mr. West said, hey, I need to have me a trophy female on my arms when we go out and do these appearances and got these engagements to show up at, and events and galas and stuff and things of that nature, right? And so the society placed him with Kim K. And look what we have, people. Jenny says the fact that MW was trying to duplicate Camel Face and Beehive's relationship is crazy work. It's absolutely crazy. But here's what it does, though. And I think I told you the name of the song. We talked about that, Bestie. I'm finna give you all some homework. Y'all up for some homework? Go and listen to Mr. West's song, Toast to the Rock. He says how he kept trying to get on, how he kept getting on in the music, and everybody, a lot of the labels, and he was close to signing with these people, but they only wanted him as a producer. But Mr. West wanted to be a rapper as well as producer. And so the record label containing rocks allowed him to do that. In fact, when he first signed with them, and he talks about the whole process on the song. Go and listen to that. Moderators, let's pin that for our viewers. It's by Mr. West, Toast to the Rock. They can go listen to that. And he tells you that, look, I wasn't getting on nowhere. This is the only label that brought me in to and allowed me to sign me as a producer and as an artist. And then once he signed, let's be honest. Let's give credit where credit is due. When he first signed, Camel Face had some great hits. The what is it? H to the Izzo. You know, all that song. Yeah. That one. The song Cry. Hey, hey, baby. My oldest daughter came in here. Hey, I'm glad you came in. I was just talking about you earlier. Baby, remember when we were on the way to my wrestling match in Florida and we saw Lil Boosie outside of the Home Depot on the south side? Right, Jenny. Yes. The Blueprint album. That's it, Bessie. You on point. Yeah, I was telling them about it because you know he was in a bad car wreck yesterday, and a lot of people are trying to. Not a lot of people. Some people are saying that they was trying to Angie Stone him. But yeah, that's why I told y'all. So y'all know I be telling y'all the truth. She wasn't even in here then. Right. Jonesboro Morrow. Yep, down that area. Yep, on the south side. And all the girls was like taking pictures with him out in the parking lot. He was with his entourage and all of that. Cool dude, man. He seemed like a really cool dude. Um, but yeah, so he was producing the music on that album. Yep, walk right past your window. Yeah, you said that go Boosie right there. Damn sure did. He produced a track on that album. And to me, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not really a Camel Face fan. I'm just not. I just don't think he's good like that. Now he does have some good songs, a few, but he's not what they trying to make him out to be. But Mr. West produced a lot of those songs, man, that was bangers for him that got him to where he was. Marie said, I agree. See, yeah, you know, he's just not. Which, and I'm going to be honest, after everything that's coming out, I do believe that he did have a hand in helping Puffy Jacket move big out the way so he could get that spot, that notoriety. Because with Notorious B.I.G. being alive, come on, man. Even when you listen to Brooklyn's Finest, even when you listen to I Love the Dope, and Big raps him off, man, he raps him like a present, man. Like, come on, man. Come on. Jenny says, but he's a jacker of lyrics. Isn't he? Isn't he? Like 96, 97% of his songs or lyrics are from somebody else. Come on, man. Let's stop it. Let's stop that. Jenny says that maybe that's why he did that song with Nas to patch them up. He needed to. He had to do something. He had to do something because Nas ripped him on Ether. That's one of the greatest diss tracks of all time. Jenny says that I'm talking about P. Diddy and yeah, I got you. Because they did the Hate Me Now song too. P. Diddy and Nas. And that's where the video for that song is what got P. Diddy to go and was it Scott Storch? I think it was Scott Storch that he abused, beat up in the offices. You know? But that's what we have for today, people. I hope you enjoyed your time with us. Once again, I've enjoyed my time with you all. It's always great having you all present in the lives in the mornings. I enjoy that a lot. And I just want a quick reminder, again, Whistleblower for Justice organization. I am the brand ambassador for them. If you would like more information on that, by all means, please go and Google them and see what we stand for. But I'll give you a brief summary. Nee says, thank you, Selfie, your time. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you made it in. I know it's late. We closed it, but you here. You here, and I know you be busy, niece. I'm just giving you a hard time. Marie says the only talent the Diddler has is a shady business degree. Isn't that the truth? Again, and I've said this before, but I'm going to ask again. Do you all think that the incident happened at the college was his initial sacrifice into the business? I just wonder because it seemed like greed was a part of that. They had already met capacity and was still letting people in, thus far causing lives to be lost. But for the love of money, for the greed of money. But yeah. So just give you a brief rundown on what Whistleblower for Justice organization is about. It's representing those who are wrongly convicted. It's geared to getting them the proper counsel or proper representation so they can have a new trial and be represented in a manner that is for fair and equal justice when they have that new trial. Also, we are geared to getting those inmates who are released from who's blessed to be released from prison, that when they come out into the modern world or society after all of the years that they've been incarcerated, we help bridge that transition from life as an inmate to life as a productive citizen amongst society. As well, one last, and I left this out. Also, we are geared to seeing to it that inmates that are currently incarcerated are treated fairly, be it medical needs, be it safety, just in general overall. We have inmates that are being abused. We have inmates that are thrown to rival gangs on the inside with the knowledge of knowing that they are going to face consequences. And in most cases, in some cases, some of those consequences are grave consequences. But yet COs do that and get away with it. So we're geared at bringing awareness to that and getting it to where that those inmates, because they're still people. They're still people. They deserve to be treated right, And so we got to bring awareness to all of that. And it doesn't matter where you live, what state you live in, or anything like that. If there's any way you could just, even if you just share the logo or the picture of the organization, you're helping. The main thing is, and we've talked about this before, people, when it comes to the elite society. A lot of the things that they put out as far as the emblems and logos on companies we see on a daily basis, or be it on TV, be it when we're out and about or whatever, we see it and it becomes embedded in our minds. And so that's how they train us with showing their logo, putting their logo in front of us all the time. And so that's what we want to do. Not for that reason, though, but we want people to say, when they see the logo, they know what it's about and therefore join in the cause. That's what it's about. Also, remind you all, there is hashtag, I'm going to say it, merchandise available. Please, if you would like to support the show and you would like a shirt, just send me a message and we'll get you taken care of on that. I think that's pretty much what I had to speak about for today. I think those are the announcements that I had to make, right? So tomorrow, again, 10 o'clock, we'll be here. I hope to see you all here. Those that are new, thank you for coming. We appreciate it having you, and we pray that you come back. But before we close out, let's give it up for my moderators for the great work that they do. Give it up for all of you who decided to spend your morning with us when you could have been anywhere else. You are appreciated. And for all my gifters and uplifters, you are appreciated. Thank you so much. And this has been Mr. Breaking News, your self-proclaimed news reporter, reporting live from the newsroom in beautiful ATL. Signing off from this newsroom, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Peace and blessings.